see your mama's car in the driveway that your mama don't have a car. All right, and then this is something I push at people all the time because it had to be drilled into my head, and it took me getting a degree in physics for it to actually sink because I came in the same places. Looks like thing is freezing up, but it should be coming back. If not, reload the page, y'all. So yeah. So one of the big things that I do for myself is I look at the model of the system that I'm going into. Okay? In the world of superhero comics, because comics is a good explanation as to why stuff is happening. When you're reading fantasy novels, a wizard did it is just as good an explanation as the laws of physics. When reading science fiction, fiction is as good a reason to explain is as good a reason to explain things as physics because, and this is something that I've argued with people all over the place. Okay, all over the place. If you tell stories based on the regular layman's person understanding of what the world is, all you'll get is slow-paced, slice-of-life dramas that have very little plot and no resolution. Okay? Because even reality shows are scripted, y'all. And I can run those stories. I have run those stories. And 100% of the time, I get complaints about how those stories aren't fun. They don't make us feel special. They don't make us feel more than what we are. And I'm like, you have to be able to communicate at what level you can feel more than what you are without it feeling unrealistic. Okay? Now, as a GM over the years, I've taken to a lot of different ways to do this. And I was talking with my kid about their gaming system because they had this same experience with their players. And I'm putting this out there for you guys. Simulacrums within simulacrums are great. How do I say that without sounding like I'm using too many 50-cent words? Very simple. Role-playing games like D&D, Shadowrun, put the list out there. They are all elaborate games of pretend. Okay? Now, if you put a game of pretend inside your game of pretend, i.e., put them in a simulation inside the game where they have no chance of failure, no permanent consequences, nothing. Okay? And let them do stuff. Let them experiment. Let them learn how to play their stuff. You'll find that the anxiety they have of losing the characters that they spent hours creating will lessen because they'll understand how to use those characters. They'll be able to find the combos and they'll be able to feel intelligent by linking A to B. You'll be able to explain why linking A to C might not work without B without them feeling the pressure of I'm going to lose. Okay? And again, this is all no judgment coming down from my place. I get it. At least the United States has raised 3 generations of people with the idea that it's possible to lose in life and that it's easy to lose in life if you're born wrong, go to the wrong school, not get the right grades, or not be at a certain level of capitalistic development by a certain age, i.e., if you're not buying a house at 25, if you're not starting a family at 27. All that stuff. I can rail against it all day, but that's for our meeting Tuesday nights down by the docks. So I understand how that little worm has drilled into people's heads about what they're supposed to be, who they're supposed to be, all that stuff, and how it can bleed into the things that they do for enjoyment. Okay? And if nothing else, playing role-playing games, playing role-playing games and involving yourself in any escapism is a few hours, a few minutes, a few days of getting away of what you're supposed to discover what you can, what you could, or what you might like to. And when those things come in, those things that give you 100 reasons why something sucks, or as I call, single instance deal breakers, okay? When those things start popping up, it is the responsibility of each person that is going through that's not realistic, that's taking me away from my immersion. It's up to them to question that, okay? When I was in an environment full of artists who were all rich, I discovered toxic positivity. And that was my real life difficulties, the difficulties of being a black dude in white spaces, the difficulties of fiscal hardship. And I was involved in a lot of relationship with friends that were psychologically abusive. And when I let my trauma show, I was told that I was constantly negative, and my negativity was bringing down everyone else's positive experience. And I had to ask the question, is your joy, is your spiritual enlightenment so fragile that one look at something that isn't it will shatter it like glass? Because if the answer is yes, it's not my responsibility to protect your glass menagerie, especially not when I have an entire life of meteor showers behind me. So if there's someone at your table who is so easily pulled out of immersion because something doesn't make sense, is that the primary responsibility to alleviate for the table or them? You know, that is a really good question, and that is something that needs to be discussed mostly at session 0. But guess what, guys? It is time, and I could rant about this for hours and hours and hours, but I do have other things I have to do today, like plan for Decker Day. That is a lot of the stuff. Now, I want to give a major shout out to my chat today for coming in there, like Clever Little Vixen, Holding It Down Like Gravity, Black and White Now in Color, Glenn Couch, Is Niceable, Jody Moon, LaKaylee, Neon Arlecchino, Santa Claus Gift, hey, I hope I've been a good boy, Sofa King Super 8, Vixabel Cosplay, Xanathades, thank you guys for showing up. I want to give a special shout out to my lurkers out there. If you're not in the chat, thank you for watching, or if you're watching this from the future, I really appreciate you guys being here and all that. And I want to give a major shout out to my patrons like Laura Holton, Jaylee Watson, Jennifer Kroll, Noel Olheiler, Glenn Couch, Christopher Chalmers, Joseph Hines. Your stuff is going in the mail tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I just finished printing out the 30 figures for the preschool. It was hard finding them that didn't have weapons or anything like that, but that's okay. We got that going. So yeah, thank you guys. Now those are the patrons that are on the $20 a month or higher tier, so they get shouts out at every single video that we produce. I don't care what it is, but we do have $5 and $10 tiers. Every little bit helps to keep us open, and by open I mean operate all this stuff, keep the community outreach stuff going, and pay for things like new refrigerators and stuff like that, because life happens, y'all. But anyway, let us know what you think. Join the Discord server. There should be an invitation on Deckers on the Book and all that stuff. Just look for let's see, BitP has 2 servers. Yeah, we have 2 servers, but one of them is BitP's server. Look for that over on the Discord. You should have some fun with that. Talk to us about any of these things, and like I said, going deep. Yeah, sometimes we do talk about trauma. We did a whole episode on the effects of narcissistic parenting and how that reflects in our daily behavior and in our interactions with other at the gaming table. So again, Games, RPGs, tabletop, miniatures games, card collecting, all that other stuff. All of those things are life. They are life, which means they come with everything that life comes with, except the no takesy backsies. So with that, I gotta say thank you guys for showing up today. I'm about to get played out. I see the music coming, cause see, there it is. We got all that stuff going. But I want to thank all of you guys for showing up. Major shout outs to my people in the chat. Major shout outs to the people who look at all this stuff on YouTube in the future. Thank you for being here. And with that, I gotta say, if anybody tells you that you can't play games or design miniatures or paint miniatures or just have fun with playing with toys and telling stories because of the circumstances of your birth, just be that crime, you know, your race, religion, creed, your gender identity, sexual orientation, disabilities, budgets, whatever that people want to say all those things about you, you can let them know to take any of those cards they're pulling on you and put them back in the deck. Until then, this is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying join us tomorrow. We're getting into more stuff. And thank you guys for joining me today. We will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific on the dark side of the room. We'll see you guys then.